Hi, Amanda.
Hello.
I love that you took off your shoes and made yourself comfortable.
Yeah, I love not having shoes on.
Me too, usually. I have a pair of slippers in the office. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome, and thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, Andrea.
I'm really excited about talking about this with you because not a lot of people are talking about it. And it may not be on everyone's radar.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a very important topic for you. So we might talk about how, you got to the place that you are. But we'll start out by just talking basically about any books that you're currently reading that feel really pertinent.
Yeah. There are 3 books that I'm reading that I'm really in love with right now. One is called The Dreaming Way. And that is all about dreams and how we listen to our dreams and how we can listen to psyche. And it's kind of filtered through a Jungian perspective and a Sufi perspective. So the mystical branch of Islam. But it's very beautiful and just it really grabbed me and pulled me in.
It sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
I love dream interpretation anyway. Do you have a dream journal?
I have a dream journal, and I try to work with my dreams a lot. And I work with clients' dreams when those kind of come up in our time together too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned one. Was there 2 others that you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I'm just getting around to reading Gathering Moss by Robin Wall Kimmerer. It's so beautiful, and it's all about moss and how resilient moss is. And
there's a book on moss?
Yeah, it's so amazing. And can I tell you how I got into this book?
Please do, because
Okay.
I'm obsessed with moss, especially
You are?
Oh, yes, moving from California to the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
I send pictures to my daughter who is still down in Southern California of the moss.
This is here. Yeah, it's so... I would say I didn't have a really conscious relationship with moss. I think it's beautiful. I once slept overnight in a forest just on like a moss bed with my sleeping bag, and it was really amazing and comfortable.
I bet it was.
Yeah, but moss isn't like an everyday part of my aware journey.
Yeah.
The day after this last election, I really kind of sink into this moment of despair and, despair for humans, despair for this nation, despair for the earth and her well-being and all the creatures she gives birth to. And I was sitting on the floor on top of the heater, drinking a cup of coffee, and I don't typically become despairing about things. I can stay kind of above the surface.
Yeah.
But I really felt myself getting pulled under. And so I went into this kind of meditation where I just tried to quiet my mind. And all of a sudden I started hearing these voices, like just different voices. I didn't know who they were. And they just said, "We're with you. You're not alone. We're with you. You're not alone. We're with you." And I was like, who are you? And I started getting these flashes of other earth beings, whale, eagle, tree. But what I realized is the kind of central voice or the core voice holding it all was moss. And I, again, have no really conscious relationship with moss. So that was really strange to me, like powerful. It felt really powerful. And I kind of put that aside. It was really meaningful to feel the presence of other earthkin saying, "We're together," right? You're not floating alone. Humans are not floating alone. You don't need to despair. We're with you. That was really powerful.
I love that you're sharing that.
Yeah. So I put it aside. And then a few days later, somebody said to me, I had not told them about that vision in my meditation. Somebody said, "Did you know moss is like I can't remember the number, 400 million years old or something? And I said, no.
Were you having a deja vu moment at the time? You're
Yes.
what?
What's happening? And they just went on to say, like, it had survived so many apocalypses. It is so incredible and resilient. And
I was going to say resilient.
Yeah. This, like, tiny little being, we look at it and go, it's beautiful. It nourishes the space around it. It pulls nourishment from space around it. It can act as refuge or nest or home or a bed in the forest if you're tired. But it is ancient. And all of a sudden, it just kind of hit me like moss is my ancestor. Moss is our grandmother. It's not this cute little thing growing on a tree or a rock. It knows how to survive.
It does know how to survive.
Yeah. So it made so much sense that it was like this kind of central voice in that cacophony of voices saying you're not alone. Yeah. So then somebody said, have you read Robin Wall Kimmerer's book on moss? And I said, no. So I started reading it, and it is gorgeous. It is amazing.
You have great book recommendations. We're only on the first question. What was the third book?
This one is called...
So intentional. I love your choices.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like they've come to me. Everybody, actually really wise women in my life have said, have you read this thing?
Okay.
Yeah. The other one I'm in the middle of is called The Light Eaters, and it is about plants. And it is about
I love the name.
How amazing they are, and that they are alive and aware and sentient and choosing and like recognize their genetic kin and protect their genetic kin, but maybe not this other plant if they have to choose. They'll choose their family, and it's really remarkable. And those three together, dream, moss, plants, is really nourishing me right now.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What great, protection for your field.
Yeah. That's true. I haven't thought of it like that.
Yeah. It's like your bumper pads for right now.
Totally.
It's keeping you grounded.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, I think you just shared your plan. If anyone's a reader, you've got some choices. But yeah, beautiful choices too. I will have to look into. I haven't heard of all three of those, and now I want to read them. I want to read anything that I don't have to read for school. Actually,
yeah, of course. I'm sure you're in the thick of it when you're in grad school.
I am in the thick of it. I'm getting close. Getting really close.
Great.
Name something you can't live without.
Oh, what a good question.
There's so many things.
Yeah, there's so many things. But for me, it's the presence of the wild world, and that kind of edge space where the wild world also lives in our domesticated world, right? So we have these like wild but urban creatures, raccoons or possums or the birds in the garden, like that edge, and then moving into just the wild world. And I mean, humans are the wild world too, but
we're pretty domesticated.
We've changed ourselves so much over time. Yeah. So being reminded of like, you came from this space, girl. That really nourishes me. Yeah.
What's one topic you could talk about for hours without getting tired?
Oh my God, there's so many. I think dreams and the psyche and collectively what we're doing and how we might be evolving as humans, but also as like children of Earth and collaborators with the Earth. All of that's really rich to me. Religion, spirituality, kind of what drives the human soul individually and collectively. Yeah.
Remind me, do you practice from existential theory?
I think it's very woven in. Yeah, I think it's very woven in.
What do you love doing more than anything else?
Can I pick two things?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a potter, so I love working with clay.
Do you?
Yeah.
How earthy.
Yeah. And then I have a forest garden that I cultivate around my home. So they're both earthwork, right? My hands are in the soil, my hands are in the clay, but those two I do.
So for anyone that isn't familiar with that term, do you want to explain what
forest
you mean?
garden?
Yeah, a forest garden is?
Yeah, it's an edible medicinal beauty garden, the way we do all our gardens, right? I want to eat it. I want to use it as tea or medicine. I want flowers. I want habitat for wild creatures, but it's cultivated in a forest structure. So there's a canopy layer and then like a shrub layer and then a low ground layer and then a root layer. And it's you really interplant diverse species because that adds to the resiliency and like regenerative nature.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it's really rich, and like any garden, it's surprising when something lives or dies, what happened here, but it's a really dense, so I have, there's spaces that are thicket, there's spaces, and those are just mostly for habitat and for soil regeneration, and there's lots of spaces that are like layers of food and tea and medicine. Yeah.
It sounds really, really stunning.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's in your backyard?
Yeah, my backyard. And then last year I started also planting the front. So I'm just kind of working my way around the whole property.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'd love to garden. That is probably one of the things that is probably my biggest hobby, you could say. Yeah, and plants. And do you know, they've done research now that your indoor plants know, similar to like, if you have a cat, maybe you don't know this. So for anyone who's listening or watching, I have a cat, and the cat knows I'm coming. Before I even get to the door, he's already on the chair staring out the window waiting for me.
Oh, I love that.
And they have research now that your indoor plants know when you're coming too.
Oh my gosh.
And they respond to you when if we were all doing psychedelics, we would know. But yeah, they respond to you when you walk up to them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So,
that's
and then
so
I follow this crazy, I can't remember what it's called right now. I don't know if you've seen it, but I feel like you would be in love with it. It's like a synthesizer, and it has two like connectors, and you put them on the plant, and it synthesizes what is going on with the plant. Have you not seen this?
Like whatever the vibration the plant is giving off is turned into
sound through the synthesizer
that humans can hear.
Yes, on this little tiny speaker. It's amazing. I'm going to have to share it with you when we're off air, but I feel like
really
you would
lovely.
Really like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Isn't it wild? Your plants know you're coming.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think we take for granted so many things.
Yeah.
We're just walking around in our heads and our egos, totally fixated on like all of our problems and the chaos of the world. And here you are saying, or reminding us, I should say, that everything's here with us. Everything's here with us.
Yeah,
you're interacting with it. Your aura is interacting with everything all the time. That's the whole reason why the bee flies up to you. And, you're scared of it, but ultimately it's just saying hello. Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a intimate way to go through life, to wake up to that more and more.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. What are you naturally gifted in, especially in the way you're with people?
You have great questions.
Thank you.
Yeah. I
was an English creative writing major.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
That's great. I live in the words. Yes.
I live in the words. Yes.
Yeah.
You live in the forest. I live in the words.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful. I think I naturally am good at creating a space where people can kind of come and sink in. Mm-hmm. I get that feedback a lot the first time people come to my home. Mm-hmm. People will just sit down on the sofa, and it's like you can feel the energy drop in. And they just say, it feels so good here.
Aww.
Yeah. And I think part of that is the way the house is. Like, it gets a lot of southern light. There's lots of plants.
But it's also you.
But I think part of it is however I popped onto this earth, there's a way that I can help people's presence kind of just root down in.
I would agree.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. And, in feng shui, your house is you. So
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that too. What are you most passionate about in this season of your life?
Yeah. Well, I have been on this 20-year journey away from the way I was raised in religion, into maybe I will say the true roots of what the divine is, or how I'm experiencing the divine. And a piece of that that's been really present is this longing for God as mother, which was not present in the way I was raised. God was always father. And, I left kind of my experience of church in my early 20s and haven't been back, but really have been digging down deep the whole time, internally and in the wild world probably. And so and I'm not a mother. I have no children. And so there's just been this kind of feeling into what is mother? What is the archetype of mother? What is the lived experience as the divine as mother, the earth as mother? How do we all mother each other?
That's the greatest teacher, right?
Yeah. How can in the last few years, I've really been wrestling with what does it look like to become mother when you have no children? And what are the myths that tell us about that? How do we do that?
You birth things into creation all the time.
Yeah.
Your body is going through a cycle of death and rebirth every single month until you hit menopause.
Yeah.
So you're always rebuilding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That is our divine purpose and our gift, right?
Yeah.
We are regenerative. We are consistently like the phoenix coming out of the ashes.
That's right. Yeah. And so there's this separation, I think, around what our religions teach and what modern society teaches around, well, you are female, right? You're a woman. You birth children. And there's a major social pushback towards that.
Well, right now. Yes.
Right now. Yeah.
50 years ago, no.
Yeah. But I've been really kind of diving into it, and about somewhere between 40 and 45% of women in childbearing years are saying, I'm not going to. So it's almost half of women.
Oh, yeah.
Are saying no.
And then almost the other half is if you don't start to provide a more emotionally stabilized, emotionally regulated relationship for me and communicate better, then you're not getting access to what I have.
That's right. Which is really big growth for the feminine, right? That's been kind of locked up and pushed underground for 18,000 years, 15,000 years.
I don't know. That history part, I don't know, but I believe you. Yes.
Yeah. So that
really long time.
The mothering, the birthing into creation, as you said, I feel really passionate about what that means.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, even though I have been a mother, there's a part of you that also decides whether or not you're going to mother again. There's a part that grieves, right, that part of you is over. And then there's a part that even when you go through menopause, that you recognize that will never happen. And so, while I can't totally understand what it's like not to be a mother, I can relate in some way to how are the other ways that I'm mothering. And you could say that, not just my child, but I have mothered a lot of people.
I'm sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I think some of it is maybe widening our gaze and saying we actually live in community, right?
Yes.
We actually live in this web of deep connection and so many people have mothered me.
Yes.
So many.
Yes.
Even not women, right?
Yes.
So many human beings have mothered me in
Yes.
different ways. And
Yes.
so it's really beautiful. Like, we do nothing alone. We achieve nothing alone. We don't nurture ourselves into existence.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could say my entire program is mothering me right now.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
How do you understand your role as a grief tender or companion rather than someone who fixes?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't really believe we fix anything. I think we can
I love that. I don't need to keep saying that, but I do.
Yeah. We want to. I think this culture, like Western
totally.
culture, wants us to.
Yeah, of course.
There's this.
I'm sure you have an occasional client that shows up and says, I have trauma, fix it, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is no fixing.
No, you have that, right? You have that experience. We can integrate it so you don't have the post-traumatic response.
Exactly.
Right? We can integrate it so it's not hijacking your life, but it is part of what shaped you, you know?
It is.
We don't look at like trees that fall off a cliff and then start growing out of the side of the cliff and growing sideways. We don't look at them and go, you're less of a tree.
Yeah.
We look at them and think, that's amazing.
Yes.
You did not die. You rooted off the side of a cliff and you're strong and you have space for habitat for creatures and you're codependent in this ecosystem. That's amazing. Yeah.
It is amazing.
We don't need to fix that. We let that tree go.
Yep.
Yeah, you grew off a cliff, babe. Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And again, back to the moss, that tree is connected through all the root systems to all of the other trees, holding it up, basically.
Yeah, it's not alone.
No.
No.
It's not.
No.
What do your friends most appreciate about you?
Oh, I wish we could ask them.
That's honest.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just the way I can be present, just the, and I'm not always present, right? There's times I'm distracted or I'm tired or I don't want to be there, but I think just the way I can hold the energetic space of relationship.
Mm-hmm. What was it like growing up in your family?
Oh, well, I really loved my family.
Aww.
Yeah. My parents they worked for a missionary organization. Huh. They worked for an organization that hired linguists to take unwritten languages. There's about 3,000 unwritten languages on the planet. Learn them and put them into writing.
No way.
Yeah. And a lot of languages are lost, right? Everything goes extinct eventually, including language. Yeah. And the ultimate goal of that was to translate the Old Testament and New Testament into that language.
Okay.
Right? So there's some stuff that comes up for me about that. But this idea of there are people who can learn a language and work with the people who speak that language to create an alphabet and actually turn it into writing. It's a pretty big debate. Do we interfere with other people's cultures or not? My parents were not linguists. My dad was a helicopter pilot. So I grew up my early years internationally, and he would fly medicine and supplies basically into these jungle areas.
No way.
Yeah, yeah. He was this really, really beautiful human. And I think he's probably the reason I'm so rooted in my soul and kind of rooted to the earth and rooted to life. Yeah. But my parents were really loving people, not perfect. We know that when we start doing therapy in our 20s, right? How much stuff we have to work through.
Yes.
Yeah. But I always knew I was really loved. And I think, there are people and non-human people, but people who have this experience of not really knowing they're loved, and they're trying to navigate the world without that taproot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so grateful I was born into a family that was able to communicate, you are loved. Mm-hmm. There's nothing you can do to fall below our love.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
What a wonderful experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm really privileged in that way.
Mm. And it's lovely. It makes you lovely. What did you love doing as a child, and where do you still feel that part of yourself today?
Yeah, I loved to paint. Sometimes I still paint. Yeah, and I just loved being with the earth, observing the flowers, like daydreaming in the garden, walking through the trees.
Do you have any Pisces in you?
I wonder where Pisces is in my chart. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I was out there talking to the birds and trying to catch them in birdhouse that I made out of paper. Yeah, like it's just.
What would you do? Would you go after them with the house, or you?
No, I just set it out and then hope that they would. Yeah, my dad. I remember my dad asking me what I was trying to accomplish, and I was like, "Oh, they're just gonna live in there, like a birdhouse." I made a birdhouse.
Yeah,
it was just out of paper, but
a paper was a tree.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah.
If you could change one thing about the way you were raised, what would it be?
Yeah. So many things. But I think I would have loved my parents to been really explicit about the different paths I could walk. Right?
Oh,
you could go to this college and study this thing. You could travel and work on a farm for a year. You could move to Italy and learn how to paint like the masters, right? I wish they would have said, there's all of these opportunities, instead of just kind of leaving it up to me when I was so young, but really kind of maybe paying attention a little more and saying, you could do this or this or this.
You would be so good at this.
What do you want to try?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a little bit more direction.
Yeah.
Sounds like they were very free-spirited.
They were very free-spirited. Yeah. And sometimes I think wrapped up in their own pain or chaos that they couldn't really
escape.
Yeah, they couldn't really
process or integrate.
Yeah. So less accessible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a very gentle criticism.
I've had about 25 years to work with that one, so.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. It's all about perspective.
That's right.
Okay. Is there a childhood memory you've never shared publicly that still feels meaningful?
Gosh, I have no idea. I would have to think about that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We can move on.
Okay, we can wrap back around if one pops in.
What personal losses or transitions have most shaped who you are today?
Yeah. I think both of my parents dying. They died in my early 30s.
Did they die at the same time?
No, 5 years apart.
Okay, not that makes it any less challenging or difficult.
But I think the shock of the tragedy of losing them both at the same time would be
different. It would be
very different. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they died 5 years apart. And then when was it? I think 6 years after my dad passed away, my Great Dane passed away. And that, losing her was so significant because I got her right after my mom had died. So I was 30. She lived through my dad's death. And then when she died, it just felt like
a reopening of all the grief.
Yeah, everything opened up again. And I really had a few months of like incredibly heightened anxiety and not wanting to really leave my space, my home, not because I was afraid of the world, but because I felt like I could feel her energy in my house, and I couldn't feel it when I was gone. And I didn't want to lose it because it really meant letting go of everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything's leaving now.
Yeah.
And the being that kind of helped me get through those other two deaths wasn't here anymore.
Right.
Yeah. So that was a pretty big shock to my system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 And pets are different because they have unconditional love for you.
Oh, sister. So they're so lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's like soulmates.
They are.
Yeah.
They make a contract with you.
Yeah.
And arguably, they're still here with you.
Yeah.
They're just vibrating on a different plane.
Yeah.
And you can't see or feel them in the same way that you did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I used to try to negotiate with her after she died to get her to reincarnate.
Great idea.
As another Great Dane.
Yes.
And I really got a firm no.
She's like, I'm done.
Yeah. I'm not coming back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an interesting planet to be on as an animal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not everyone is consciously aware.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you still working on healing?
Oh, I mean, probably everything on some level. I don't know if we ever fully heal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
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 What part of yourself are you actively tending or listening to right now?
I'm really trying to sink in more and more to my experience of belonging to the earth. Not just that I love the earth and her beings, but that the earth loves me. The earth loves us, right? We're part of the dream of the earth.
Yes.
And what does it mean for this like mothering, life-giving, death-giving planet to say, I love you, babe. You belong here. You're an earth baby. Really trying to sit into that. Yeah.
You are so fun. Okay. What old ideas about yourself are you outgrowing, and what feels possible as a result?
Old ideas. Well, I think the kind of structures around what we've already talked about, right? The way religion or spirituality is structured, or these social structures of partnership looking a certain way, or having offspring or not, those things really feel like they're kind of breaking down and composting. And I think there's some grief in that. There's grief in leaving old containers, or like the dream we had. But there's also a lot of liberation in saying, okay, this can break down. I can reform something else here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this life, like the dream isn't lost the way leaves that fall off a tree aren't lost, right? They're providing for the next germination of something. Mm-hmm. So I think those things are shifting, just identity structures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
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 I'm sure that makes you really good at sitting with others.
Yeah. I'm losing all of my, I feel like I'm losing all of these like preconceived notions of how we should identify as human beings. And more I think, I have no idea.
I mean, I don't have any idea.
Yeah.
I'll be the first person to tell you I don't have it figured out. I think you only think you have it figured out when you're like in your 20s.
Yeah. And then the older you get, the
teens.
less
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
Every year, the older I get, the more I realize, oh my gosh, like I'm way past my parents had no idea what they were doing. Like,
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, you guys think I know? The only thing is I have experience.
Right.
More experience.
Yeah. And some of that experience is just loss, right? It's like the high dream turned to the low dream, and I know how to work with that now.
I
right?
do.
You know how to work with that.
I know how to get through to the other side.
That's right.
Yeah. I know that there's an end to it eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is like a core identity, right?
It is.
You're a person who knows she can swim to the other side.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
With no life raft.
With no life raft. And hopefully some companions along the way.
No emergency services.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely can. And if I meet somebody in the water, I can usually pull them along with me if they're willing.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
Okay. How did climate grief first show up for you personally or professionally?
Yeah. I sense now, looking back, that it's probably always been there. That this awareness of our human disconnection from our belonging to the earth has always been there on some level. But I really started being consciously aware of something after I trained in Reiki level 1.
Oh, you have?
Yeah. I really started hearing. It was not audible, but it was some sort of
It's your
hearing.
clairaudience opening up.
Different beings. And realizing there was hope and anxiety and fear, and not just the way we tend to think of other beings, like in a primitive isn't bad, but we kind of use it in this derogatory way, right? It's this impulsive or primitive response to things, but like an actual soul of things saying, I exist, and the way humans interact brings anxiety to other beings. The way humans engage non-consciously, and that really opened up for me. And it actually was a bit overwhelming. And then I was on I did a year-long cohort, and on one of our retreats, I met this woman who was like a Reiki master from Canada, and I didn't know what was going on. And she said, "It's your Reiki. You opened up this space, and now you can hear."
Yes.
Yeah, and that...
You're a clear channel.
Yeah.
It's moving your energy through your chakra system.
Yeah. Yeah.
And allowing higher frequency to come in. And your ear chakras, I mean, you have a lot of chakras in your body, but your ear chakras are actually attached to your throat.
Oh.
And so it's usually the last to come online because your throat is the gateway between your heart and your mind.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are blocked by that because they don't express themselves.
Yeah.
And then you think about all of the things that go through your throat all through the day, right? Everything you eat, everything you drink, how you speak, the tone of your voice.
Yeah.
If you choose to smoke, if you don't, right? What you're consuming, and then how you're expressing.
Impacts it all.
And so that is opening, closing, opening, and closing. So...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is the hardest to develop, and a lot of times because, I mean, I don't need to talk to you about the DSM-5, but a bunch of men in white lab coats at one point decided that like that means that you're schizophrenic, and arguably it does mean you're schizophrenic if you don't have proper boundaries around it, and if you don't have somebody like a Reiki master who is like, you're not going crazy, like that internal voice that you're hearing, not audible voice like in the room with you, but that internal voice that you're hearing is a way for you to contact your ancestors. And no one's ever explained this to you because you didn't have that witchy grandma or aunt that was like psychic, that was like, hey babe, come here, let me tell you what this is about. But we all knew how to do it when we were born. We just get socialized to believe that all of those abilities are, for magic people, and after watching that Santa Claus is not real and the Easter Bunny doesn't exist, we kind of feel duped and we don't want to believe in magic. But magic is constantly all around us. I mean, why are people so drawn to psychedelics and ayahuasca 300 times ceremonies, right? To try and break through the veil and recognize or tap in one more time that I'm not alone.
Yeah, we want to move through the veil.
We do. We want to feel not alone here because we're so disconnected, but there's so many things against us being connected.
Yeah, it's set up that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think one of the challenges is going, okay, I want to move through the veil, right? Psychedelics, dream work, energy work, whatever. And how do I weave through that, weave into the world beyond human language and into the world of like symbolism, hearing in a different way, without losing my root in this world, right? You still
You
have
gotta
to be an
grounded.
earth babe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just all the way up here, not even, you're disassociating.
That's right. Yeah. And so how do we go? You hold
you're
both
spiritually
worlds.
bypassing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you absolutely have to remain connected.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think people get overwhelmed or, I think there's a lot of things that we might call like a psychiatric emergency or schizophrenia or psychosis. But I think on that path, the overwhelm is often like you don't know how to bring yourself back to this reality, right? You're so lost in this other one.
Yes.
And nobody else is experiencing that with you.
That's right.
And so like the goal, I think, for humans is to go, how do you have a foot in both worlds?
Well, that's what consciousness is moving into, arguably, right now.
That would be great. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd get on that ship.
You're already there.
Yeah.
You're already on the ship.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. That was great. So, what do you notice people are grieving most right now that doesn't always get named?
Well, certainly our what we call climate change, right? Which is really like a natural process in a lot of ways. The Earth has been many iterations of herself, but this is like so accelerated by human behavior.
Yes.
And consumption, human disconnection and consumption. And what we mean by that is really like ecosystems are rapidly changing faster than they can evolve in and be resilient in.
Yeah.
And that's Earth's ecosystems, but that's also us because we are part of Earth's ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right? So we like made this train go at high speed and we
don't know how to turn on the brakes.
Yeah, and it's even questionable whether at this point we could do things right now, but
to slow it down.
To slow it, but really we can't turn that ship around, and nobody wants to really have that conversation.
No, that we're on the Titanic.
Yeah, that we can't really turn around. We can't undo what we've done.
Nope.
It's not on the human lifetime scale.
Not for us, anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe for the next iteration of whatever civilization is here after us. But
yeah.
Not for us.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think there's this, we call it we're in this meta crisis, right? Because or this poly crisis, because we're like, there's Earth and there's human behavior and civilization that is growing in these really beautiful ways. And then the old guard is like rapidly unraveling and taking down everything that it can with it, which is what happens in collapse when we resist it.
Yeah.
Right? You want to hold on to money and power and influence and more than your fair share. Like when we resist in those ways, individually or as a collective, that's just going to happen, right? It's like when you're not in line with the Tao, it doesn't turn out that well. So there's that. There's like the Earth crisis and then the kind of human civilization crisis. And then I think there's this spiritual crisis.
Oh, yes. We are in a spiritual war.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so those things together, like, who are we? How do we belong to ourselves and each other and this planet and all these other beings we depend on and share life with? And we're just kind of, and not everybody in the world is experiencing this crisis in the same way, because some people haven't lost their like rooted spiritual ancestral connection, right? But I would say in kind of modern Western society we have, and we've really outsourced that to a lot of places in the world, this like capitalistic consumption culture. So those layers of crisis, spiritual, human, just human civilization, empire, and then earth, that's a lot to contend with. And my clients and community don't love it when I bring that up, but it's because it's a lot, It feels so scary.
It is scary.
Yeah, it is really scary.
It is scary.
Yeah.
None of us have control. We're not at the helm.
No.
We're up in the bird's nest and we're like, there's an iceberg.
That's right.
Hold on. There's an iceberg.
Yeah.
We hit it, actually. Does anyone else know that we hit it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of us are up in the crow's nest.
It's a slow sink. It's a slow sink.
Very slow sink.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there aren't enough life rafts.
No. And what are our life rafts, right? How do we create these places? One of my mentors who I trained with.
Community.
Yeah. She was like, you have to create islands of safety and sanity.
I love that.
And how do you do that? Because you can't stop collapse. That's a natural cycle in the cosmos. We can't stop that.
I know.
And so trying to stop it or ignore it isn't really going to help us become deeply wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What role do ritual, creativity, and embodiment play in making grief bearable or meaningful?
Oh, what a great question. Yeah. Say those three things again.
What role do ritual, creativity, and embodiment play in making grief bearable or meaningful?
Yeah. I'm excited to talk to you about this question. Let's embodiment first. That's where my mind wants to go first is we are grieving because we're in a body, right? But we try to escape the suffering of grief by getting out of the body, right? By being distracted, by dissociating, by moving faster, or by
packing our schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, I speak from experience.
Yeah. Yeah. Or not getting out of bed, refusing to eat. I mean, there's a time for all of that, I think, depending on how and when you lost. Yeah. But we are so good. We might be the only creature on this planet that is so skilled at going, I'm not in a body. I don't have to be in my body. I don't have to experience this pain. But we are. We are in a body. So I think really going, I am experiencing this suffering, this pain, because I'm in a body and I'm attached to something that went away. A person, an animal, a dream, a vision of security, a hope for the future. It went away and I feel it in my system. Where do I go? What do I do? Yeah. I remember one of my mentors years ago, I was trying to calculate the best place to move with climate change. And she looked at me and said, girl, where on earth
Sorry.
do you think you can go
to get away from this?
We can't get away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could arguably get on a spacecraft and
totally
go to Mars. I think that's the plan for some.
Somebody should go.
Yeah. Somebody should go. How do you hold both despair and hope without forcing either one?
Well, can we go back for just a second to the ritual?
Yes.
The ritual, I think, is so important. And I actually think ritual helps us be embodied.
Okay, tell us more.
Yeah, I think we are not... we don't have a lot of conscious ritual in our modern society.
I know.
Yeah.
Especially for men.
Yeah.
That's why they're suffering.
Yeah. When we think about ritual's this, we could argue that they're separate things, but in my mind, ritual and initiation are very closely tied.
Yes.
And we need ritualized initiatory experiences.
Yes.
We have to have them because they tell us how we belong to the tribe and the cosmos. Here's your place in the human earth family. Here's your place in the large earth family. And here's your place in the cosmos. Yeah. Here's your cosmology, babe. And we just don't do it. We're this ascension culture. We're such a weird culture. We're such a weird society.
Do you mean here in the U.S. or in the world in general?
I think in the U.S. for sure.
Oh, yes.
In the U.S. for sure. And then I would say in like the West or the global North, right?
Okay.
This like, because we want more. We want more money. We want better work. We want to stay looking as young as possible.
Mm-hmm.
We want more clothes. We want more wine. We want more. And we want to ascend, right? We want more experience that makes us feel really good. And we don't want the balance of the experiences that pull us into the underworld. But a soul cannot mature without walking the underworld.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think initiation and ritual go, you're at a critical threshold. How you cross over this threshold is really important to you and to the beings you belong to, right? To the human tribe, to the earth tribe you belong to. And it contains the crossing over the threshold. Ritual is so important for grief and for growth, right? Like, I wish we had a society that took people going into puberty and sent them on initiation rituals.
Yeah.
I wish we had that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would be I think it would solve so many problems.
Yeah. That and educating people on what trauma actually is.
That's right. Yeah.
And how we've all collectively experienced it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Whether or not we think we have in our families or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that we carry memory of it.
Of course.
From
and
our
that it impacts
ancestors.
us. And then that's where we're reacting from.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think we absorb the fear and suffering just of the planet.
Oh, of course we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we do not know how to protect our energy field, we are an energetic sponge. Our auras right now are overlapping.
Yeah.
When you gave me a hug, I get some of your energy, you get some of mine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're constantly impacting and absorbing thoughts, pictures, images, feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in an energetic soup.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have to figure out how to swim there.
We do.
Yeah.
Without a life preserver.
Yeah. But we were built for it, you know?
We totally were.
We were built for this.
We forgot that we have feet to kick. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think we wanted to be here.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think our souls were like, land there.
Oh, I think actually I'll take it another step further.
Yeah.
I would say that we were excited to be here, which is, it just blows my mind constantly, but especially right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
The people who are here right now were like, we got this, send us down. And then we got here and we were like, what did we do?
We don't have this. It's so hard.
I didn't think it would be like this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tell clients, or have for years, that I feel like we are essentially in the Colosseum. And our ancestors are just sitting around us. And they're like, here comes a lion. And we're like, but we don't have the tools. They're like, fight it with your bare hands.
Yeah.
Right? But they're like up there and they're clapping. You know, all of the generations are you know, up there cheering us on, whether we acknowledge it or not. But ultimately, you know, my grandmother lived her life so that I could be here right now. My great-grandmother, everyone before her had to survive what they survived in order for me to be here right now. And that in itself is an absolute miracle in my mind.
Yeah, and like such a gift when you frame it that way, right? All these people went before you, paving a path. That's amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and came together. However they came together in order to then have somebody, you know, continue on in the line.
Yeah. And we talk so much about inherited trauma because it's so important. But we also have this deeply inherited resiliency and wisdom. You know, that's present too. Mm-hmm. You have all of the power that all of these people before you were able to learn about and access and actualize.
Yeah. Yeah. And, arguably that is what being a parent is all about. I mean, I used to say, like, I feel like my child started where I ended. At the time of their birth, I handed them collectively everything that I knew at that time. Certainly, I've grown and experienced more and have more to give them, but they essentially, like, I was the platform for their life, right, to springboard off of. So
yeah, that's really beautiful.
Okay, let's see. What are you willing to fight for and why?
Oh, this is great. What am I willing to fight for and why? I am willing to fight for this belief that we belong here and that we can do really good things here and that we belong in this larger context of the earth. Yeah. I'm willing to, I think I am and I would give my life for that. That there is deep belonging on this planet and it reflects this transcendent belonging we're all a part of that is hard for us to access sometimes depending on our experiences.
I feel like that's a gift of yours.
Thank you. Yeah.
If you died but could return to Earth for 5 minutes to experience one last thing, what would it be?
Ooh. Oh, what would it be? I think I would want to stand in the very middle of an ancient, ancient forest and just feel those thousands of years of wisdom in that collective life. Yeah.
When you said that, I imagined like tea gardens in Japan or something that's like been growing Pu'er tea for the last 1,000 years or however long.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know a lot about tea?
No. And I don't know anything about those gardens.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. I mean, there are tea plants, for instance, that have been around for hundreds of years.
The same plant.
Yes.
Wow.
And then they're aging that tea. There's a process. I mean, there's different teas, but one of the processes is called Pu'er.
Yeah.
It's the most interesting name to pronounce, but it is aged in addition to that. But a lot of the tea that is prized is from ancient bushes, tree. I don't know what they are, but tea bushes, yes, that have been cultivated on the same land, similar to wine. It's very, very similar to wine. Some of the most prized wine in Napa Valley, same thing, has been around for several generations and is in a particular part of the valley that cultivates a produce that is consistently like all of these different things.
It feels like there's a magic in that.
Of course there is.
Yeah, like this old...
There's ancient places all over the map that hold that.
Yeah.
Maybe aren't always growing plants, tea plants, or an ancient forest, but yeah.
And then what a gift, right? We get to partake of the energy of that plant, of the medicine of that thing, right?
Yes.
The wine, the tea, whatever it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the history of that.
Yeah. Yeah. We can't get away from each other on this planet. We're all just, like you said, swimming in each other's energy.
We are.
Yeah.
When you're 90 years old, what do you hope you've stood for, given, or protected in the world?
Yeah, I hope I've really stood for love, like the actual posture of love, right? Deep democracy, coming back to the table over and over, service of each other and of the earth. That, like, that feels really like rich soil to me. And I want to protect the earth. And when I say the earth, it's also humans, right? We are the earth, but I want to protect life on this planet and the goodness and depth and magic of life on this planet.
Me too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's one thing you wish more people cared about or spoke honestly about?
I wish more people would speak honestly about their fear and grief. Yeah. Yeah. I wish we would turn off our screens and turn towards each other and talk about where we feel most afraid and what we're losing every day. And we're grieving all the time, just like we're hopeful all the time and we're inspired all the time, right? We can.
Yes, and.
Yeah, we can get into one pool and out of the other with just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think not in this, not in a pathological way or a way that makes us collectively spiral. That's not what I mean by people turning towards each other and saying, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of this thing we're losing. I'm afraid of what it's like now and what it could be like. And, you know, for somebody to look at me and say, yeah, me too, sister, right? Like, and then we know we're together.
Mm-hmm.
And then we know we have each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think what gets in the way of that, at least on a relational basis, would be shame.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then
I have to put on a brave face. I need to fake smile right now. Everything's okay. The cashier at Trader Joe's doesn't really care what my day is like. They're just asking me because that's part of their customer service or whatever, right? And so I might go through the day trying to hide that grief or my fear.
Yeah.
About the planet, about what is even going on in my partnership.
Yeah. Yeah, all of that. And then that's back to the embodiment, right? And of course, maybe we don't do that everywhere. Of course, we might put on a mask somewhere just to make it through the day or...
Yeah, I'm not saying like bare your soul all the time.
Sure.
Yeah, of course. We can't live that way.
Yeah, but then where are our safe spaces to go?
Mm-hmm.
Gosh,
and do we have
falling
any?
apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And do we have any? Are we cultivating any in community or with the people around us or in a really lovely group that someone starts?
Yeah. Or in your garden.
In your garden.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I have found that the earth can really handle my fear and grief. Like I can go sit on her and put my hands on the soil or put my hands in clay or touch a tree and it feels held.
Yes.
It feels like it's not too much for the earth that we're afraid. It's not too much for the earth that we are suffering.
Yeah, the tree's composting it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I walk through my little urban forest, I thank all of the trees. I'm like, thank you. You guys are doing so much. Thank you.
They're literally taking our carbon and they're taking our suffering.
They're doing so much for us.
Yeah.
That goes unacknowledged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then we're, you know, oh my God, we just got rid of the Forest Service. I thought of that. But yes, like you said, the rapid timeline of just using up resources as quickly as we can.
Yeah, it's an unraveling.
It is.
And we can feel that in our psyches.
Yes.
Yeah. Which is...
And witness it in others.
Totally, yeah.
Who are absolutely taking advantage.
Who are, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, and that should bring up, like, there's a holy rage we feel when we look at that, you know? And we should feel rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we need a place to, like, transmute that into commitment, action, deeper roots with each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Education.
Yeah.
What do you love most about yourself as you are now?
Oh, women told me this when I was younger, that the older I got, the more in myself, the more freedom and liberation and security I would feel. And I did not believe them.
You didn't?
But it is true.
It's very true. But why didn't you believe them?
I think when I was young, right, in my teens and early 20s, I would look at women in early midlife or solidly in midlife or even in late midlife and think I was still really connected to the cultural narrative of like youth is an advantage, right? Youthful beauty is an advantage. And it is.
Yeah, we were sold.
Sure.
Yes.
It's great. But it's also not an advantage, right? There's also a cost that comes with that.
Totally. And so many costs.
So many, yeah. And there's something about going, I am more solidly in my body. I am more solidly in my soul and psyche and my relationships and my place on this earth.
My relationship to self.
Yes. Yeah, I know. It's that I know how to swim across this river without a raft, right? That.
Without even anyone checking on me that I got to the shore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although we need people checking on us.
For sure. I'm
Yeah.
not saying, but like, yes,
Yeah.
I just keep adding to the narrative. Sorry,
Yeah, I love that. I love it. Yeah. That, I think, has really transformed my life. Now I believe all the women. And now I think some of the most dangerous in the best way beings on the planet are women in midlife and late life.
Yes.
Because they do not care.
No.
They have nothing to prove.
They have nothing to lose either.
They have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is so liberating.
It is.
Yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known, like, I wish my mother would have told me how magical it was. And
yeah.
I think she was in a grieving process when she turned 50 because she was grieving the fact that she was not young.
Yeah.
And it was a different experience for her. She probably still grieves that she is not young. However, I wish someone would have told me how amazing this was. I think that when you're younger, I don't know about you, but there's some like dread that like you're not going to have the same experience, but you're not going to have as great of as experience. It's like all downhill. You know,
Yes.
This is the best it gets
Yeah.
in my 20s. Like,
Yeah.
And arguably, I would say I'm way more interesting, more fun, more dynamic, more secure, more loving, so many different things, more healed, if there is a healed, but definitely more healed.
There is a more healed. I will buy that.
Yes, there's a more healed, than I've ever been, and more grounded.
Yeah.
If I didn't say secure.
Yeah.
You know, they're just I don't care about what other people think in the same way that I used to, and it doesn't impact me and wound me in the same ways, and I don't.
Yeah.
Yes, it's liberating.
Yeah. There's like an increased care around, like, I want to love my neighbor really, really well.
Oh, yes.
Like, I care about the health of my collective.
And legacy. Like, what am I leaving behind? Why am I here? What is my purpose of between now and the time that I die? What am I cultivating? What do I want to give back to all of the things that gave so much to me? And so that the perspective has changed, of course. Yeah.
But it's because I think it's if you do your grief work, right? If you go... And we can't escape it. Life is going to take from you the thing you love.
I agree.
It is.
And the more you cling to it, the more it'll rip it out of your hands.
Yeah. And that...
Just to prove that you are a sovereign being.
Yeah.
And once again, what you said at the beginning, which is you're not alone.
You're not alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if we do that work, if we can really go... That fucking hurt, right? That tore apart my life in some way, and it probably won't be the only thing. If we can do that work, we can really solidly, I think, move out of maiden phase, right? I think that phase we're talking about, teenage, early 20s, is maiden, and that's a beautiful phase. Like,
it is.
I love I love hearing those women like giggle and explore and love. I love that maiden era. It's so get into trouble, need help getting out of trouble. I lost my passport and I'm somewhere I don't know, right? Like that phase is exciting and beautiful.
Totally.
Not that I feel like I could still lose my passport, but
And
don't be surprised
lost.
if you're going to call for me someday. I don't know where I am. But that we always maintain like the gifts of those archetypal stages, right? Like you can go back into maiden when you want to. You can like love the way we loved in maiden years when we want to, and love adventure and exploration and life and getting into trouble. Like we don't lose that. And I think
we build on it.
We build on it, yeah. But then going into midlife is like mother and then like queen or sorceress, right? And those
Empress.
Those archetypes, yeah, empress, those are so, you know who you are, right? Maiden is like life happens to me.
Yes.
Mother is life happens through me.
Yes.
Right? And then there's like empress, queen, sorceress. She knows what her kingdom is. She knows her domain, and she knows how to be present in it and how to rule over it in this really beautiful way. I wouldn't give up that kind of becoming, things being created through me, and then really coming into knowing what my little kingdom is. I wouldn't give that up for youth again.
Me neither.
It is a kind of...
It's way less confusing.
Oh my God, it's so way less confusing. It's so clear. And it's powerful in a way we don't typically feel in our adolescence. Yeah.
In a world marked by loss and uncertainty, how do you think we can practice loving ourselves and the world without turning away from what's hard?
Well, I think not turning away from what's hard. I think witnessing what's hard is an act of love. And even if we can't change it, but my therapist, when I was in my early 20s, he said to me, is there any value in bearing witness without being able to change it? And I said, no. And he said, yes.
He's like, let me repeat the question.
Yeah. He's like, okay, little babe, that's not right. There's value in bearing witness.
I love your therapist.
Yeah, he was great. He was great. There's value in bearing witness, right? And it's loving to bear witness. After Nola was my Great Dane, after she died, it was almost crazy to me how the people who loved me most in the world did not know how to show up for that grief.
Yes. What? Tell us more about that.
Yeah.
I have my own perspective, but
yeah, I want to hear this. I want to hear your perspective here.
I'm what's the word? Puzzled? No, maybe not puzzled. Puzzled's too strong. I feel like I need a feelings chart right now. I am, I guess, very curious.
Yeah.
As to why that happens, because I witnessed that going through a very difficult divorce.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people that were closest to me had the hardest time understanding it. Now, from that perspective, I think what was happening there is that people cared so much about my well-being and who I was and how it was impacting me, that they struggled to understand how difficult it actually was. And maybe like if it was a Netflix series, it might be more understandable, right? Like,
if we could
outsiders,
edit it.
by outsiders.
Yeah.
But I think the people closest to me really had a hard time understanding that someone might act like that, or, just had a hard time from different perspectives and different backgrounds and different upbringing, different values. And so I can't extrapolate that out to what we were just talking about, but I can tell you that has been my personal experience. And again, it sounds like it has been yours too. So there is something there. Yeah.
And can we talk about your experience for a minute?
Yes. We can talk about anything.
Thank you. The not understanding how difficult it was. Like, were you going through this experiencing I'm not seen. They're not fully seeing me here. I'm alone. Yeah. It's terrible.
It is.
You don't want to be alone.
No.
And I don't think we can
I even lost all of the relationships that held me through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was this huge unearthing of life for you.
It was an unmooring.
Yeah.
It was one of many regenerative experiences in my life.
Yeah.
That I've gone through multiple times. But yes, I think you could say that those people witnessed and held me and carried me as best as they could through that period. But, and maybe that's what their contract was with me, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And because I evolved into who I am now, the people drawn to that will come forward, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a new energy.
There is a new energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was your experience too?
Yeah. And also when my parents were dying, I think there's we have this, because we're not comfortable with our own loss and grief and death.
We're not comfortable with death.
No. Which is wild. Not that death shouldn't hurt, but it's wild because death is the cycle. Death is the goal of life. It is the end point we're all sailing toward. But we don't want to think about it like that. We don't want to think about impermanence and finiteness.
All things must end.
All things must end. And
because there's feeling attached to that,
totally.
Right? And I'm going to watch other people grieve the loss of me. As I'm withering. Getting older.
Yeah.
I won't say withering, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. And when we observe the wild world, death happens all the time. The earth is not afraid to sweep away whole species in death, right? But in that place, something else comes in. So death is this kind of clearing for the new thing, right? I think death and birth are at the same point on the wheel. It's the critical threshold from one to the other. And whether that's when you and I die, we're actually being born into something else. Maybe that's the case. Or it's these smaller experiences we have while we're still alive in these bodies. The death process leads into the birth process of something new. It's really hard for us to deal with the death process. We fight it with everything we have. And we do not want to talk about it.
Well, back to that initiation. Death is another initiation process, right? It moves us through grief if we're here when somebody else has left us. And it teaches us once again that things are impermanent. And
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what we need, I think, is a bunch of wise humans around us going, we can help hold you as you initiate across this threshold. But most of us don't get that in this kind of Western culture. Most of us don't get it. Maybe if we're part of a religious community, but that can come with its own narrative baggage.
Sure.
Yeah, when Nola died, like we talked about before, it felt really important because it was holding my parents' deaths too. But I just found these people I had been close to for years, sometimes decades, couldn't settle in and sink in with me. They just couldn't be present. And that added to the grief, right? It's like you're
grieving those relationships too.
Yeah, and like these people don't see. Yeah. They don't see what I'm losing and that it's so big for me. It's so big for me. She had been my companion. Nola was not a trained therapy dog, but she came with me to my office every day and she did work with me with my clients and she really got me through my parents leaving. And so there was just this huge thing. But I had one friend who's known me since I was 18 years old. We went to college together. She came over. She brought me flowers for a vase and flowers to plant for Nola. And she brought me tea or coffee or something. And she sat down on the sofa and said, I want you to tell me everything from the beginning to the end. And I said, and I'm a grief therapist. And I said, what do you mean? And she's like, I want you to tell me everything from the beginning of when Nola got sick till the end. And I had not spoken it in a complete narrative like that. And it broke this part of my heart open. And it was so nourishing. I was sobbing through it. It was so nourishing. And she just sat there and listened. And she said to me, and
what
we have to
gift.
Oh my God, she's so beautiful. Yeah. She's such a giver of presence in this life. But we have to be able to tell our stories and have them be witnessed, right? That's back to the witnessing. Witnessing is loving. Witnessing says, I see you. I believe you have the capacity to bear this and grow from it. And I'm with you. And that's what we do as therapists, right? We go,
totally.
I'm bearing witness to you.
Yes.
I'm bearing witness. So she did that, and it really broke something open that was stuck in me for a really long time. And that's when I started to feel the energy just kind of move. Like I could let it flow a little more.
Yeah.
I could let it flow. And it's been 4 years. I still miss her. I look at other dogs and I'm just like, oh, she really was
she's your spirit animal.
She was my spirit animal. Yeah. She really knew me and kept me really safe. And so there just was something about that presence that's a gift. And we can be that for each other, right? I'm not going to tell you what I think you should do. I'm not going to interrupt the story. You tell me your story, beginning to end. I want to hear what happened. Yeah. Which is what, like when I see really lovely parenting, whether it's from kids' actual parents or a neighbor or an aunt or whatever, right? It's like, that's what we do with children. Tell me everything beginning to end about this experience. Yeah. And then what happened? Oh my gosh, and then what happened? Yeah. Right? We're helping people construct a story. They're building a neural pathway, but they're being seen while they construct it. And that is life-giving.
And heard.
And heard, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we all deeply desire to be seen and heard.
That's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's actually why so many people are getting onto these AI programs, because they're totally focused on you and they keep prompting you, right? Tell me more. Would you want me to do something else with that?
Yep.
Yeah. And it's like, wow, we had to create these algorithms to do the thing that we've forgotten how to do with each other.
Yep.
And we're so uncomfortable.
Or that we never experienced with our family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what I want is that turning towards, right? I want to go, like my goal with the folks I work with in therapy is to create enough of that in therapy that I know we're done with the work when they start coming in going, I'm having these experiences out here.
Yeah.
I've built a community out here who's doing that. Yeah. Then I'm like, we're nearing the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good stopping place where you're leaving others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're pretty special.
Oh, you are too.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, I am sorry your people could not hold that with you. That's a big thing to go through that kind of divorce.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Arguably, without getting super emotional, you could say that I'm still going through it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I'm still experiencing that because very similar to any grief process, people want you to just get over it.
Right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why are you still talking about this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it formed you.
Oh, it is in some ways impaired me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been 25 years of my life.
Yeah.
More, I think. Close to, 27 years of my life. Wow. And the divorce itself is ongoing and has been going on for 5 years of my life.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a very long time.
It's a very long time.
Yeah.
And I think for me, part of look at you being a grief tender right now. I think part of that is some people look at it and wonder why it continues.
Yeah.
I think along the ways, a lot of people didn't understand why He could be so punitive. What did I do kind of to not deserve this, but like, what were they missing? I think people are looking for what are they missing in the story, or how am I perpetuating this, or whose story to believe.
Yeah, and that's painful when they're your people. Yeah. Yeah.
It's fairly invalidating, but I did come from an invalidating environment growing up. So for me, the greatest gift out of this is recognizing that, and also choosing different people.
Yeah.
It was a big wake-up call for the people that I was surrounding myself with, who didn't have the capacity to hold me in the ways that I needed to be held.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they didn't hold me. I'm saying that there were some ways that I needed to be held that they didn't have the emotional capacity with. And it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't their fault. They weren't trying to be harmful. It just wasn't landing for them. They couldn't sit with it because they hadn't sat with something that deep and that heavy for that long.
Yeah.
I have yet to meet somebody. I mean, unless I'm talking to somebody through WhatsApp in Gaza, I have yet to meet somebody who has really experienced, suffering quite in the way that I have. And so that makes me an anomaly in some ways.
Yeah. And this is the gift of grief, right? When somebody has experienced suffering and sat with it and had to say, I have to shift here. Something is forcing me to shift. When we've done that, the gift is I can be with other people in that.
It makes me unflappable.
Yeah.
I can sit with anyone and I'm like, I get that.
Yeah. Yeah. You were plunged into the underworld and you know how to navigate it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a strange gift giver.
It is. But it is my gift.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of several, but I definitely bridge people in major transition.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. It's like I am the life raft.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And we need that. We need that role. We need that person in our world. Yeah. Thanks for doing that for people.
Thank you for doing that for people.
Yeah.
Shall we end there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much, Amanda.
Thanks, Andrea.